We learned the difference between checkers and chess. We learned that Brighton Beach is actually in Brooklyn. And indeed, Easter and Passover are this weekend. You know how Joe Paterno likes to do it. Mix in football talk only now and then. We got the Lions, we got the Tigers, and we got a pair of championships on the line. Oh my. The Lions have struggled so far this season, just 8-6 overall, 0-2 in the Big Ten, and just one win against a team from a BCS conference. The numbers aren't pretty. Of course, that's what got them a ticket to the big dance, and then they'll find out who they'll play and where they'll play from this 12-foot screen, and hopefully this thing will work. The big news isn't what was said, but rather what wasn't said. At this point, the Milledgeville police are not charging Ben Roethlisberger with any crime. They say the investigation is ongoing. Pittsburgh pulling out a thriller, 27-23, one for the other thumb, number 6. That's more than any other team in NFL history. Let's hope they have their lucky long johns on tonight too, Mike, because it is cold out here, and we're here in Erie at Gerriod Park for the opener between the Curve and Seawolves.
Programs, get your programs here.
Thank you. Once again, the opening day program full of fresh faces.
We got one more important thing to do, though. I love the outfits, but this is even better. Give me some ribs.
Get some ribs.
Hey! Eat 'em up. We're ready for some football. Kickoff, 8:30. We'll see you later tonight.
From your news leader, WTAJ Sports with Mike Fink.
The Flyers were one loss away from missing out on the playoffs. Now, a month later, they're one win away from a berth in the Stanley Cup final. Even the eternal optimists didn't see this turnaround coming. The Flyers dispatched of the favored Devils in round 1, then became just the third team in NHL history to dig out of a 3-zip series hole in round 2. And now they own a commanding 3-1 lead over the Canadiens in the Eastern Conference Finals. Michael Leighton led the way yesterday. The guy stood on his head again. He stopped all 17 shots fired his way as Philly beat Montreal 3-zip. That's his franchise record, third shutout of the series. History suggests the Flyers will finish off the Canadiens, but history hasn't meant much this postseason. With Montreal 5-0 when facing elimination, the Flyers aren't taking anything for granted.
The last one will be the toughest to get. We also realize, what Montreal has gone through previously in their previous rounds. Against Washington and Pittsburgh, so we can't take them lightly, and also what happened with us against Boston. So it's never over till the end.
Philly can wrap up the series tomorrow night. It's already a wrap out west. Dustin Byfuglien netted his third game winner of the playoffs in the third period as Chicago finished off a 4-game sweep of San Jose today. It's good to see an original 6 team in the Cup Finals, isn't it? It's the first Blackhawks Cup Final appearance since 1992. They haven't hoisted the Cup since 1961. This weekend marks the opening of baseball's interleague play. The fans in Philly are happy to get the rare chance to see the Red Sox. The sight of Boston uniforms is not nearly as rare for Phil's ace Roy Halladay, and he's probably not happy to see him either. Halladay just 14-14 in 41 appearances against the Red Sox. Pick it up, fourth inning, bases loaded. Halladay trying to get out of a jam. That won't help. Greg Dobbs, can you tell he's a backup? Lets the potential inning-ending double play go through his legs. 2-run score, 3-zip. Then in the 6th inning, Kevin Youkilis. Goodwood there. The question is, did he get enough? Barely out of the yard. His 9th homer of the year. Halladay's ERA jumped from 1.64 to 2.22 after giving up 6 earned runs in 5 2/3. His counterpart was much better. The knuckleball dancing today for Tim Wakefield. 8 shutout innings for Wake. Boston wins the game 8-3 and takes the series. Aki Iwamura is back on the field for the Pirates, but I think they might be better off with him on the bench. The hamstring is no longer an issue for Aki. Hitting Major League pitching, however, certainly is. Pittsburgh's leadoff guy is 0 for his last 32. The Pirates trying to salvage the final game of a 3-game set against the Braves. 5th inning, Iwamura finally finds a hole, snaps his dubious hitting streak, but what do you know? The man's still searching for an RBI. Melky Cabrera guns down Ryan Doman at the plate. Braves holding a 1-zip lead. Pittsburgh breaks through in the 6th. Already 1 run in. Doman smokes a single to right. Garrett Jones trots home. Bucks take a 2-1 lead. Evan Meek on to protect the lead in the 8th. And oh no. Former Pirate Eric Kinski hammers one to right center. The first homer Meek has given up this year. Just like that, game tied. This one headed to extras in the 10th. Doman steps up and wham! See ya, walk it off, buddy. The Pirates win it. Doman with his 4th homer of the season. 3 have come in the 9th inning or later. The Pirates win 3-2. Nate McLeod returned to Pittsburgh this weekend for the first time since leaving the Steel City last June. Seeing him roam center field for the Braves probably led some of you to wonder who got the better end of last year's trade between the Pirates and Braves. Or maybe the question should be who got the worse end of the deal. Both players are struggling, and that's putting it kindly. McLeod is hitting a whopping 198 with Atlanta. The former All-Star is relegated, hitting 8th in the Braves lineup most nights. Morton, on the other hand, is just 1-8 with an ERA approaching 9. He's allowing nearly 2 base runners per inning. Ouch! Down on the farm, the curve trying to finish off a sweep of Erie. That guy in the pregame zone. Justin Wilson in the zone, too. The curve starter gets Cale Orich here, one of his 10 strikeouts in just 6 innings. In the third, runners on the corners for Erie. The Seawolves go the double steal. Sean Roof takes second. Chris White sprints home. Erie up 1-0. To the fourth, Wilson getting some defensive help from big old Miles Durham and right. Go get it, big fella. Watch him chase down the fly. Makes the sliding grab. Just a 1-zip game into the 7th. 1 on for Shelby Ford, and there it is. A swing and a drive, no doubt about that one. A 2-run home run. That turns out to be the difference. Altoona sweeps Erie with a 2-1 win. Well, Penn State came up empty on the scoreboard more often than not this season. The Lions finished just 9-15 in Big Ten play, but head coach Robbie Wine hit a home run with his decision to plug Lewistown High product Elliott Sear into his everyday lineup. Not much was expected from Sear. He was coming off a redshirt season, in the infield, where he's accustomed to playing, was stocked with returning talent. Wine gambled by moving him to the outfield, and it sure paid off. Sear finished with a .341 average, scored 34 runs out of the leadoff spot, and compiled a respectable .968 fielding percent.
Offensively, it was a little bit of a surprise for us, but his athletic ability just is outstanding. I mean, for a guy to play the infield his whole high school career and then come in here and we stick him out in right field, that's a big difference.
I was real anxious to get out there, sitting around last year. I just tried to take advantage of it, learn from the older guys. And, when my time finally came, I just tried to have some fun with it. And fortunately for myself, things worked out pretty well.
I'd say so. Sear is expected to move back to his natural position of second base next season. On the hardwood, Game 3 of the West Finals between the Suns and Lakers. Just a 4-point game late. Amari Stoudemire with one thing on his mind: get to the rack. Takes it right through the Lakers D for 2 there, and the Suns grab the lead. Then a couple possessions later, Steve Nash, you cannot give him that. Buries the 3 ball, and the Suns bury the Lakers. LA still leads the series 2-1. If LA can hold on there, it looks like Boston will hold on in the East, and we can turn back the clock like it's the 80s all over again. Celtics, Lakers, everybody hoping for that finals matchup.